What's up, everybody? I'm back. It's just me, though, this time. So, we're doing something a little bit different, and we're going to try just a solo podcast. I got my, dude, this is the best. This is the best coffee, most refreshing thing I've ever ingested in my life. It is the San Julian's Hills coffee lemonade. If you follow me on Instagram, you know about this drink already. But this is some new stuff, right? So I went in today, and my guy was like, I was like, dude, this is the best drink ever. I just hope you know that. Please don't ever stop making it. He was like, oh, no, we're not gonna stop making it. I just came up with a new one. You want to try it? I was like, oh, yeah, duh. So he hits me up with coffee lemonade with tamarind. I don't know what tamarind is, but it's good. It's got this like little sour, little tang to it. It's got a little tanginess to it. Oh my guy, it's good. It's so good. It's so freaking good. So I can't get enough of these things every weekend. Every weekend, that's where I go. And yeah, until I can figure out how to make it at home, that's where I'm going to be. So it's in Winter Park. You look it up, San Julian's Hills. It is muy bien. It's muy bien. It's muy bien. So good. So yeah, mixing things up. Got a little stuffy nose action because I'm getting over a cold. So that's awesome. I hate, dude. Why do we? It's 2020 and we're still getting colds, right? We're still getting colds. Now, granted, my colds don't last as long as they used to. When I was younger, when I lived at my parents' house, my cold would last for 3-4 weeks. Runny nose for 3-4 weeks, and I hated that. But ever since I've been out, since I've been an adult, since I'm not in contact with a lot of people, I don't bite my nails as much, all that kind of stuff that I used to do, and I'm a lot healthier, a lot more active. Colds don't last as long, so it's only been like 3-4 days. But it's still pretty bad. Yesterday, couldn't even go to work. It was so bad. My throat hurt so bad I couldn't talk on the phone. It was pretty painful. But today, I'm feeling a lot better. Good things. So, yeah, man, I can't believe we still get colds. Like, how do I get a cold? I don't talk to anybody. I don't do. You know what it is? Is the kids. They're little. Just little harbingers of bacteria and germs, and we need to get rid of them. Not kids. Well, maybe kids. Dude, they just get you sick. That's all they're good for. They just get you sick and they get you tired. They get you sick and tired, and those are two worst. They're the worst things to be: sick and tired. But yeah, my go-to medicine is Dayquil. It is orange magic in a bottle. It works almost immediately. It's the only thing that gets rid of the symptoms. My body is so particular with what works and what doesn't work. Like Sudafed, that dries my sinuses up to the point where it hurts to breathe. So I don't like Sudafed as much. If I have to, I half dose it because I don't want to be breathing in like. Sorry, I'm burping so much because I'm disrespectful. Because of my podcast, I do what I want. So, like breathing in is like Arctic, dry, Minnesota air. Just, I don't know if Minnesota's dry. I've never been there. We're never going to go. But yeah, Sudafed that's some powerful stuff. You can make, with pseudoephedrine, so you make meth, right? No wonder why they need to check my ID for that stuff. I wonder if I look like a meth head to them. Like, you look like a meth head. Can't be, right? No. Gorgeous. Anyway, yeah, dude, it's been a week, man. I snapped my back up at the gym. I snapped it up really, really, really badly. So bad. Years ago, I'm talking while I was a state trooper. Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, we're talking maybe 2013, 14. 2014. I was at the gym deadlifting, and it was like my first week deadlifting. I had no idea how to do it, and I was going like as heavy as I could, which wasn't heavy. It was like 185. I literally could not deadlift more than that for like more than 3 reps. So I'm in there lifting some lightweight, and there's this chick in there who apparently this was her time for deadlifting or whatever. So she was all upset that I was in her space. It's that LA Fitness vibe where you're just in somebody's way all the time, right? So I got pissed off. I was like, you know what? I'm just in here trying to do me. I'm just in here trying to make some gains, you know? So I just rushed my last set. I was exhausted, and I wanted to rip this last one up off the ground, this 185, this big boulder weight, and stood up with it, and I arched my lower back, and I just snapped that crap up, man. Snapped it up so bad. I could barely stand up. I could barely get the weight off the bar, you know? This is what happens when you're lifting weight and you get hurt. Now you have to pick the weight up, right? So that happened, and I couldn't walk. I came into the gym the next day and was like, oh, you know what it's going to need? And this is before I was a personal trainer, before I knew anything about fitness at all or how the body works. I came in the next day, and I was like, you know what my weak body needs, huh? I'm going to punish it, right? I'm going to squat as deep and as heavy as I can, and I'm just going to bottom it out, stretch my back out. And so I went down in a squat, hit the ground, and that was it. I was done. I could barely walk out. I could barely get back to my car. Hurt so bad. So bad. Because I'm an idiot. I'm a dum-dum. That's what I am. So, fast forward a couple of years, became a personal trainer. Fixed my back over time. I was in so much pain for so long because I didn't want to move. So I just babied it. I babied it and babied it and babied it. And I didn't, just anything that hurt, I didn't do that. I ended up sneezing, falling down flight of stairs because my back hurt so bad because I sneeze like an animal. So I fell down these stairs, you know, because just so much pain. So anyway, it took a long time for me to get comfortable again, right? I had no pain for a while, and then I became a personal trainer. The gym that I was training at was going to open on Friday or Saturday, whatever it was, a soft open Friday, fully open on Saturday. It was the Monday, or might have been even Wednesday. Can't remember. Doesn't matter. It was Monday or Wednesday before I come into the gym, the one that we're training at, early. I'm like, let me hit some squats, you know, before we get into the day. So I go down, and I've been squatting for a while, you know, I'm getting my weight up, doing 225, 265, whatever it is, and I'm feeling good, and something happens. My form breaks down mid-squat, and I come down in it, and I just lower back rounds, and the bulge disc, it happens all over again. End up dropping the weight on the safeties, and I had to have the guy next to me in the squat rack rack my weight and help me to the elevator because I couldn't even stand up all the way. It hurt so bad. So I'm in the car, and I'm literally like, oh my gosh, I have to start like actually training people, and who knows how many, and standing around doing sales and doing all this stuff in like 72 hours. And this took me almost a year to rehab the first time it happened. What am I going to do? Right? So the next day, I took it light all that day. The next day, they have a stretching guy come in to kind of go over the policies of stretching and kind of get everybody on the same page as their philosophy on stretching. I can't remember what his name was. It was a weird name, but he was such a cool guy. And I basically was like, I will be your guinea pig for stretching. I hurt my back yesterday. I think I need to stretch it out, you know, because I learned a lot more by that time. I'm like, all of the stretching that you do, just use me as the practice dummy. So he's showing all these stretches to do. So I start doing them, like laying down and like twisting around and doing these like little hand circles and stuff like that, and doing these lower back stretches. And literally, I was in 36 hours from being injured, no pain. Not only that, but I got that injury, and then I went and deadlifted the most I'd ever deadlifted a week later. So I was like, oh, I got it figured out, man. It's what happens is when you get the bulge disc, you know, from compression or from too much flexion, and just poor form from all that stress in one spot, the disc kind of, as it out, all the muscles, they seize up to protect it. And so I was just in like this spasm all the time, and you lose all of your mobility. So through the stretches, got my deadlift game up. Good. Fast forward more years to just last week. I'm in the gym. I'm doing T-bar rows. I hadn't been in the gym since coronavirus started. So it had been months since I like really hit it. I mean, I've been working out at home, doing some bull crap over here. But I get in there. First day, second set of my first workout, first exercise. Doing T-bar rows, lightweight, doing like 45 pounds on the bar, 60 pounds on the bar. I think I was doing 90 pounds on the bar. I got 2 plates on there. I stand it up, first row, back, snapped up, same spot. So much pain. So much pain. But you know what I did? You know what I did? I went and I finished my set. Then I went and did the next exercise. I was like, okay, not working back anymore. I got to go work. Well, actually, I did some more back. I did some seated cable rows, and those hurt, but I still got through it and I did it. Then I did some bicep curls. I was literally like squatting down in like the most awkward way possible to get the cable curl thing, and I would stand it up. I was like, I'm gonna brace myself, and then, rip that stuff out so I can start growing these bad boys back up. And then I went to do some chest press, and that hurt because I was pressing, and my tailbone hurt, and every time I had to stand up, pain. So I finished my workout though. Finished it up, and then I was all snapped up, but I've been doing the stretches and trying to like push my tailbone down and do some decompression and just let my waist hang. I was just like prop myself up on my arms on like a high countertop or something like that, a high table. Like we have them at work. We have these big high tables. So I just prop myself up and just let my hips hang. And dude, it hurts so bad, but it in a good way because it's decompressing everything. So within like a week, I was good again. So back in the gym, doing my thing, trying to get swole, I've always had body image issues. I don't want to say body image issues. I always struggled being underweight because I don't eat. I just get like so focused on things that I don't know. It's weird. Like I get so in on something that nothing else matters. And it's always eating. Just that seems to be the thing that happens is eating. And so I'm just able to ignore my hunger because it's like inconvenient to stop what I'm like laser focused on. So really, during my like growth years, I was playing a lot of video games and a lot of music. I was learning, how to play the drums. I was getting better at guitar. I was learning how to record and mix and do all this stuff. I was learning how to write music and everything like that. And I was so into it. And then also Modern Warfare 2, MW2, man. I was having a 1v1 in Rust. You know what I'm saying? And I had to show up. Otherwise, I'm a chump. I had the 2v2. Otherwise, I'm a chump. I had to show up and rep the clan. So, I was out there mobbing. I'm out there mobbing on these guys. And yeah, it was at the expense of eating. So I was like, I remember when I did the weigh-in for the state troopers, you have to be like, based on your weight, based on your height, a certain weight. So at my height, my max was like 250 or something like that. But they didn't put minimums because nobody's a minimum. So I was like 6'2" or 6'3", whatever I am. And I was 147 pounds. And they were like, you're underweight. We've never had somebody that underweight before. You need to bulk up, actually. You need to gain weight. We've never told anybody that before. You need to gain weight. I was like, okay, all right. So I went into what I realized was the issue is there's just a lack of because I was so used to having just eating being like a thing that wasn't I could just ignore being hungry. I had to make eating part of my schedule. And so what ended up happening is being in the highway patrol in the training, eating is a schedule. You eat breakfast, you run, you eat breakfast, you go to class, you eat lunch, you go to class, you get out, or you eat dinner, and then you go either back to class or you retire for the night. So it was on a schedule. So I never missed a meal. You were never doing something instead of eating. So that really worked out. I ended up putting on like 10 or 12 pounds. I came out like 157 or something like that. And then I bulked up after that. I stayed in that rhythm and, was hitting the gym hard, and I bulked up to 160, 170, 180. I'm working my way through 180 to get to 190. But dude, it's like, it's tough. Any day off that I have, I do the best when I'm working. Work weeks, I eat like I'm supposed to, and I'm getting back in the swing of things. But the second I get back to the gym, I hurt my back, and then I get sick. I don't want to go to the gym when I'm sick because I can't breathe. So it's so hard to just push through for me. It's always something that happens, and that just bugs the crap out of me. It's just so annoying when you're just trying to do what you want to do, trying to reach your goals, and then something always happens. And it's like that's the thing that unlocks the goal. Overcoming that obstacle, that's what gets you to the goal. That's what levels you up. And I just feel like I can't level up. It's like I get sick. And I'm like, dude, I have a hard enough time making the gym a habit. Like I go, but not as much as I should. And now I'm sick. Now I'm really not going. I don't eat as it is, and now I can't breathe or taste. So now I'm really not eating. It sucks. I have a hard life. It's tough being this skinny. A lot of you don't know. It's tough. I wish I had big calves. If I was a big dude and I was losing weight, I'd still have big calves. That's one thing you never lose is big calves. I'm like, dude. You ever seen anybody that like lost a ton of weight? Any guys that lose it, they'll be like 380 pounds, they lose a bunch of weight. They look great and they have big calves. By the time I get to 380, I'm not going to have big calves. I'm going to have little tiny calves. It's going to be all upper body. So it's tough, man. It's real tough. I know I'm being insensitive. I'm being a jerk. And it's all a joke. I'm not actually, it's not true. None of that's true. It's all a joke. But it is tough, man. It's tough. It's a whole other, it's a whole other side to, it's a whole other side of the pendulum. It's really hard to lose weight, especially when that's your lifestyle is, overeating and under working or under, your too little activity, too much food. And then the other one is too much activity, too little food. And that's just your habit. That's your lifestyle. That's just in your programming almost. And so it's hard to break that on either side. So yeah, man, it's like I identify with the struggle of losing weight from from just being on the other side of the pendulum. When I tell people, it's easy for you to say, you don't eat. It's like, no, I understand how hard it is to not eat because it's just as hard for me to remember to eat. You could eat whatever you want. Yeah, but I don't. That's the problem. I don't want to eat. So it's like, I don't know. It's kind of, it's similar. It's not the same. It's similar. Losing weight might be harder. I don't know. But it's definitely tough. It's definitely tough. One thing I did notice, though, which is always encouraging, is it's easier to maintain than it is to lose. So staying at the weight I am, it's easier to stay that weight once I get to that weight. And it's also like that when you lose weight, or when you're making gains or whatever, the amount of work it took to get there is not the amount of work that it takes to stay there. Especially if you're able to stay there for a while, your body kind of finds a new homeostasis. It finds a new zero set point. So if I go a couple of days, not eating well, not exercising right, I really don't, like, my weight will fluctuate down, but not past a certain point, before I'm able to dial it back in. So I'm really just stuck inside the mid 180s. So anyway, dude, what else happened? What else? Oh my gosh, man. So here's another thing, right? Called my mom up. We were going to have a little get together this past weekend. She lives like all on her own out in like the middle of nowhere in Hillsborough or Pasco County. I think it's Pasco County. Is Parish, Florida. There's nothing out there. I don't know why the heck she moved out there. She like split up from my dad, right? She lives out, all on her own. And I was like, I'd offered her multiple times, hey mom, come live with us, come live with us, come live with us. We got, this extra room, we got the other room over there that we could, do something with. You should come stay with us, have some people around you, have some good support and everything like that. Find a job over here and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know, man. It's tough to convince my mom of things sometimes. But now she's like all alone. She hates her job. It's a 2.5 hour drive out there one way, so it costs, tolls, tons of gas, tons of wear and tear on the car. You're exhausted by the time you get there or, after driving there and back. She's, not in great health, so it's exhausting for her to come visit. So, she was feeling really down. She's been really down lately. So we ended up going over there, going to the beach, which was great. We had a great time over there. I was really glad we went and stuff. We went to Honeymoon Island. It was so great. Kids had a good time. Mom had a good time. And then we come back, right? We get back. Long Friday. Long Friday, long Saturday. We get back Saturday night. And Jade goes to run to the store, hops in our other car, and battery's dead. I was like, great, dude. Great. What's wrong with the car, right? So I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with the car, right? So I go out there, I'm trying to jump in. It's not even turning over. It's not like that. When your battery first starts dying, it's like and then shuts off. Wasn't doing that. It was just all the lights cut off. All the lights cut off. So I'm like, oh man, dude, what's going on? What is going on? So I asked Jade, I'm like, what's the deal? What's going on? What's the problem? Did you leave the lights on? I don't think so. Kind of sounds like you left the lights on. So finally, she kind of fesses up to it. She left the lights on. And so, because I'm worried, if you didn't, then the battery could be dead. And if the battery's dead, then that's what it is. But, if the lights were on, that's different. If if nothing was left on and the alternator's bad and it's like draining the battery or whatever, then that's not good either. So I'm just trying to assess the situation, right? So she gets everybody dressed up, everybody ready to go. Let's go get it tested. Let's go blah, blah, blah. Because I finally was able to jump it. So I was like, okay, the battery, the alternator might not be bad. Took it around the block a couple times. She's ready to leave. And I was like, no, let me handle it. I tried to be big macho man, right? Try to handle it. And thought I got it all fixed. So get it jumped. It's working. Shut the car off. Turn it back on. Perfectly fine, right? So I go out a couple hours later to start it up. Dead. I was like, oh, crap. And now it's like 8:30 or 9:30 or something. I think it was like 9:30. Haven't gotten the car tested. Haven't gotten anything. And I got to go to church, play drums in the morning, right? So she's going to be home. And that's all the way to like noon or 1 p.m. or whatever. So she was like, oh, man, I told you we should have just went earlier and got it fixed. And I'm, like, man, you're probably right. And then, dude, so I end up leaving the car on. I end up getting it jumped, leaving the car on for like till 2 in the morning. Go to bed, get up, car starts perfectly fine in the morning. Good. Go to church, do my whole thing there. There's no air conditioning at church. Blistering hot, and I'm playing drums inside of a drum shield. Sweating my balls off. Smells like there's grilled onions back there. Green onions would be great. Smells like they're grilling up onions, like they're making Philly cheesesteaks back there. Extra grilled onions, extra beef. It's disgusting. And yeah, so I'm back there doing my thing, sweating, dying, chugging water. It's not enough. Decided to wear long sleeves that day too, of course, in a non-breathable shirt, of course. And then when I finish there, I got to go to AutoZone and get my stuff checked up. Now I got to make sure the alternator's good. So now all that problem that I could have handled the day before, now I got to handle the next day too. And it's blistering hot outside. It's high noon, sweating immediately second I step out of the car. So let me tell you how much I hate AutoZone. Okay, they're they're garbage. They're pure trash. They're the worst. Go to Advanced Auto. Go to O'Reilly. Go literally anywhere else. AutoZone freaking sucks. So I get the AutoZone. I go inside. Nice guy. They're nice people. Nice guy. Older guy inside. Comes and helps me. Comes out. Checks the battery. Hey, battery's at 63% or 35%. No. Yeah, 63%. Battery's at like 63, 65%. Needs to be charged. I was like, okay. Let's put it on the charger. I was like, I can't test the alternator until I get this charged all the way up. I'm like, okay, that doesn't sound right, but whatever. Let's do it. Set it in there for he's like 30 minutes. Should be fully charged. An hour later, it's finally fully charged, over an hour. So go in there, put the battery back in the car. Now I'm like, okay, now check the alternator. So they send this young kid out. And the kid was kind of like, I don't know, he had like a Muslim name, but he looked like a black dude. So, I mean, that's common, I'm sure. And he had a giant belt on that was on like the last loop, and he had like stretch marks on his arm, but he was a skinny guy, so I think he lost a lot of weight. So I was like, oh man, that's awesome. Good for you, man. He's a nice kid. And he comes out, and so my battery's fully charged, right? The guy tested it when he took it off the charger, fully charged. Puts it in the car. Kid puts the leads on to test the battery again, 65%. I was like, oh, battery's not holding a charge. Battery must be dead. He's like, yeah, man, battery's probably dead. I was like, there's no way that I lost 35% of my battery in 17 seconds. So something's not right. Can you still test the alternator? He's like, no, I can't test the alternator. It won't let me. I said, okay, can we put a new battery in the car so you can test the alternator? And if I need a new battery, I'll just get a new battery. He said, sure. Okay. So we go slap the new battery, and he's like, oh, you got to buy it first. I was like, bro, just put it in there. Oh, you got to buy it first. Oh, okay, fine. Buy it, 130, 150 bucks, whatever it is. Put it in the car. Get this. We put the new battery in the car. Put the terminals on, put the leads on. It says it's 65% charged. Needs charge. I looked at this kid and I was like, what? What is going on here? Are you selling dead batteries? Are you trying to scam me? What is going on here? Because he was ready, literally, when I bought the battery. He was like, okay, man, have a good one. I was like, oh, no. You have to go check my alternator still. And I need you to check this battery, right? It says the battery is only 65% charged. I'm like, this is a fresh battery. This is two fresh batteries. One's fully charged battery that you just charged, and then one brand new off the shelf. Why are you reading both of them at 65% charge in each charge? Is your little, battery meter just straight scam? Right? So now this is taken. I got out of church at noon, or like 12:30. We're now into like the 2 p.m. zone. I am starving, right? Stomach is hot with hunger, and sweating like crazy because we're standing outside and there's no shade at any AutoZone ever. Even though they work on your car outside, put a giant shade up, but no. So I'm dying. I'm basically almost dead. And this guy is trying to scam me for the little bit that I have, this young kid. And I was like, dude, something's wrong. you're either not reading the machine right, you're not using it right, or you're selling me scam batteries. And I'm hungry, but I'm sorry, I don't want scam and cheese sandwich, okay, with extra scam. So I was pissed. I was super pissed, right? So I tell, Scammy Sosa to go back inside and get me my old battery back. So he goes back inside. I'm like, refund me the battery because your machine is just giving me all kinds of, it's giving me all kinds of issues. Either I don't want a brand new battery that still needs to be charged. I'd rather just my old battery that had the same charge on it, And you can't tell me my alternator is good because none of your machine doesn't read any higher than 65% because it's a scam. So he refunds me the thing. I slap the old battery back in, and I go home. I'm so pissed. I tell my wife about it. Take a nap, cool off, eat some food, take it to a different AutoZone down the street. And this lady helps me. She's like, what's going on? So I explained the whole thing to her. I was like, I was out over this other AutoZone in Oviedo, and I was talking to, Samuel L. Jackson, and he was trying to, I don't know what his deal was. Either he didn't know what he was doing, or he was trying to hit me with the old, So I was trying to think of another scam pun. Can't think of any more scam puns. So anyway, she goes, checks my battery, still says it needs to be charged. Same percentage. And but she's trying to get the leads in a different spot, which this kid wasn't doing, to check my alternator. She was like, oh, you could just pull the alternator out. I'm like, no, you can't just pull an alternator out. It's not, in the glove compartment. I need a special 5-way key thing to get the tensioners off. You got to get underneath to even get the angle that you need to get the alternator out. No, you can't just pull the alternator out. So I'm like, do you have a battery charger? I'm like, forget it. I just want to have a battery charger at home so that I just have one. She was like, oh yeah, we got a battery charger. No big deal. Here's the one that you need. 75 amp, $150 battery charger. I was like, no, I don't need a 75. That's for a Super Duty. That's for an RV. I don't need a 75 amp charger. I need like a 15, 20 amp. So they only had a 75 amp and a 2 amp, which you can't even charge your Xbox controller on that. So I was like, oh my gosh, you people freaking suck. Straight up suck. That was my whole Sunday. That was my whole entire Sunday was spent doing that nonsense. So, and then I got sick. Worst weekend ever, man. Well, it was, not the worst. I did get to go to the beach, hang out with my mom, so that was cool. But other than that, dude, and play church, that was pretty cool too. Played some good songs. But other than that, it's just, car mechanic people, whatever. And what's crazy about AutoZone in these places, they don't make sales really off of service, so they have to sell you stuff you don't need. Basically, that's the only other way for them to scam you because, and mechanics, they just have a reputation for scamming. And so, I just, never going back to AutoZone. Don't go. When you get batteries, even when you buy a brand new one, have them test it right there on the counter. Because either they're selling bad batteries or their machines, will only ever tell you that you need a new battery. And that's not right, dude. Because car stuff is expensive. Who's got extra money for just car stuff laying around? Nobody. So get your stuff checked before you buy it. They slap a new battery on the counter, throw them leads on there, test that thing. I want to make sure it's fully charged. I'm not buying anything in here unless it's fully charged. And have them check everything. If they check your battery and it's not fully charged, okay, then check my alternator. Make sure that that's good because you'll buy a new battery, but it's actually alternator. The alternator drains the battery all the way. And then, if it's outside of the 30 days or if it's outside of whatever the warranty is, then you only get the refund for bringing back bringing back the battery. You don't get a refund for the whole purchase of the battery at some places. So, oh man, you gotta check yourself, because they will wreck yourself. Then they don't care. They're out there just trying to scam you up, dude. Scam Lil Jackson. Oh man, dude. Oh, I love this coffee, bro. So good. So good, dude. It really is. Paper straws, though, suck. San Julian's, you need to get rid of your paper straws. I understand you're trying to be all natural and health conscious and all this kind of stuff, but I can't drink your drink because I guess the straw wet and your lids are not soft lids. You have these hard plastic lids, and the little tabs where you put the straw through, it crushes the paper part. And then your straw is collapsed in the middle, and you don't get what you're trying to drink. First world problem? Yes. Is it still a problem? Yes. And I hate it. So, fix it. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So, anyway, looking forward to this weekend. Jade's doing some baking. She didn't do the bacon last week. The baking last week, not bacon. Although she should do some bacon too. She's doing cinnamon rolls. So we were supposed to do it on Friday when we went to go see my mom, but we didn't because we took the day off, and then, yada, yada, yada. One thing I was talking to her about on like a more serious note. Sorry for all the burps, dude. I don't know what's going on. Straight up disrespectful in your ears. But I'm not burping into the microphone, so you're welcome. We were having a talk because, we have an issue with money where we misallocate our funds. We spend more than we need to on certain things, and then not enough in certain things. And, it's just been something we've struggled with for, forever. We've had good times, we've had bad times. And right now there's like these little bad moments. They're not like, normally we see it, we catch it, we fix it. But it's like, I don't want to be always doing that. I want to always be on the up. So, yeah, I had a talk with her on Monday, and it was a good talk. In the past, I've always tried to convince, or at least just get her to understand my point of view, and I've learned over time that my point of view may be incorrect. And so there's no point in trying to convince somebody of something that is incorrect, or get them to see it from your incorrect way. So just deal with the facts of it, and not necessarily your perception of whatever the situation is, or how something makes you feel, or whatever. Try to be as impartial and as objective as possible with the situation. So I was thinking about the situation, and just about how we allocate our time, how we allocate our money. And I was like, it's not the way I want to, but it still happens. And, I was basically saying that, I haven't been a good leader. I haven't been leading, or taking responsibility for what's going on. I haven't been taking the initiative. I haven't been leading at all. I haven't been, just taking a back seat. And I don't want to do that because Jade she also doesn't take the lead, and she doesn't have a real clear vision of, she's got ideas of what she wants to do and everything like that. And she's got drive and motivation and everything like that, but it's not in a specific direction, and there's not steps, it's not broken down into this is practically what we can do to get from A to B. I have that, and I think about that all the time. So, I was like, I haven't been communicating that, and I haven't been taking responsibility for that, and I haven't really been, taking point on making sure that her dreams are, and goals and aspirations is that we're marching toward that, and, step by step doing that kind of thing. So we had a nice conversation about how, I just need to be reminded to, hey, take the lead. Hey, what do you think we should be doing? Because it's it's in my mind, and it's something that is very important to me to do, and something I feel like is my responsibility. In our relationship, everybody's relationship is different, but in ours, it it is my responsibility to make sure that we are moving forward. And, and I need help to do that. So I was basically just saying, like, help me lead better. Just remind me to lead. Remind me that, because sometimes it just gets lost. It just gets lost. I get home and I know that I need to prep food for the next day so that we don't, go out to eat. But I get home and I want to hang out with the boys for a little bit. And then, I'm either tired or something was bothering me at work or whatever it is. And then I'm just like, I'm kind of done for the day, or, I got to cook dinner and I don't feel like meal prepping something else too at the same time or right after or whatever. And, I just want to, de-stress, and I'll go watch some YouTube stuff or, hop on Xbox for a little bit or whatever it is, or watch a show at Jade or whatever it is. And, that thing that I was supposed to do that really only takes 30, 40 minutes and I still have the rest of the night to do what I want. I end up not doing that one thing. And then it throws, and so, I just need that help to be reminded, hey, just take that extra 30 minutes, throw the chicken on the grill, put the rice in the rice cooker, steam some veggies for tomorrow's lunch so that we don't spend that money. Hey, it's Sunday. Let's take an hour. Let's do our podcast so it's ready for Monday. Boom, done. It's an hour, and we still get to watch TV and do whatever we want. So, yeah, it's a skill that it's taken a lot of learning to be able to communicate in a way where I'm not like steamrolling the conversation or trying to make somebody feel bad about what they're doing or putting blame on somebody else or trying to convince them of my point of view, and it's not necessarily the right point of view and stuff like that. It's like, it's a skill that takes a lot of developing, and I'm not perfectly good at it yet, but we're getting there, right? We're getting there. We're leveling up. I'm level whatever. I feel like I'm a little bit ahead for my age, but, I've just been through a lot. So just leveling up every day, trying to just gain a little more XP, trying to level up a little more. So anyway, man, I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about. So one thing that I don't want to do with the podcast is turning into like this downer or angry or, whining about stuff podcast. But there's some stuff that's going on in the world that I want to, weigh in on. And then there's stuff going on in my life that I want to weigh in on. And then there's, things that have happened in the past that, I want to talk about. And then there's things that I want to do in the future that I want to talk about. So, and then there's just like, I want people who listen to the podcast to feel good about listening to it. I want it to be like some levity and some brightness and some like, oh, I learned something, or, oh, that was a good takeaway, or, oh, that was funny and I enjoyed that. It was humorous, or, you going through that kind of put something in perspective for me, and, all that kind of stuff. I want it to be feel good. I want it to feel good. I've been like on Instagram and listening to other people's podcasts, and it's just like, oh my gosh, dude, it's too much negative. It's too much, just stuff going on in the world, and yes, you have to be aware of what's going on, and it's good to be informed and everything like that, but it's just everybody's weighing in on it. Everybody's got something to say. Everybody's got a microphone, and look, not everybody needs a microphone. Not everybody's opinion is worth listening to. And mine may not be either on a lot of things, but that's why I'm just going to try to stick to the things that I know are, are either uplifting or humorous or insightful or whatever, and just keep it light and fluffy. Just keeping it light and fluffy because, keeping it bubbly. Keeping it bubbly. Sometimes bubbles are good. Sometimes bubbles hurt. Bubbles in a bath? Great. Too much bubbles in your soda? Feels like I'm drinking needles. Keeping it bubbly. Sometimes it's going to hurt. Sometimes you're going to drink the needles. Sometimes you're going to be in a bubble bath. That's what's going on here. So thank you for listening and watching. Hopefully this is still recording in video because my phone's about to die and I just left it up in 4K. So yeah. Thank you. And I'll see you in the next one.